Release the Sun. The story of the Bab, prophet herald of the Baha'i faith, and the extraordinary time in which he lived. Copyright 2003 by the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of the United States. All rights reserved. First edition published 1957. New edition 2003. Baha'i Publishing, 415 Linden Avenue, Wilmette, Illinois. Publisher's Preface. Release the Sun retells in vivid detail many of the events associated with the brief yet dramatic ministry of the prophet herald of the Baha'i faith in Iran. Though the book has been available to English-speaking members of the Baha'i faith for some 45 years, it was not widely available to the general public. Now, for the first time since the book's release in 1957, in this new, completely re-edited edition, Baha'i Publishing makes Release the Sun accessible to the general public. A number of things about the new edition distinguish it from the first edition of the book. First, the narrative, which draws heavily from the stories found in The Dawnbreakers, Nabil Izam's monumental epic narrating the history of the earliest days of the Baha'i revelation, has been meticulously checked and rechecked to ensure its faithfulness to the details found in that work. Second, a great number of notes referring to the Dawnbreakers and its voluminous footnotes have been omitted for the sake of simplicity. This was done because the vast majority of notes were simply citations of the Dawnbreakers and can be accessed quite readily through a number of excellent search engines that are freely available through the World Wide Web. Thus, any reader who has access to the web can easily search for and find the source of most of the quotations and extracts that appear in Release the Sun. Citations for those few extracts that do not come from the Dawnbreakers appear in the footnotes. Third, while the epilogue and 7 appendices of the first edition have been omitted, a glossary, bibliography, basic Baha'i reading list, explanatory footnotes, and an index have all been added for the reader's convenience. It is hoped that these changes will enhance the experience of the average Western reader for whom the book was always intended, but who has not had easy access until now to this dramatic and compelling story. Preface to the first edition. This book, Release the Sun, gives the early history of the Baha'i faith up through the hour of martyrdom of its herald, the Bab. Professor Edward Granville Brown of Pembroke College, Cambridge University, wrote of this period in history, saying, "I am very anxious to get as accurate account of details connected with the Babi movement as possible, for, in my eyes, the whole seems one of the most interesting and important events that has occurred since the rise of Christianity. I feel it my duty, as well as pleasure, to try in as far as lies to bring the matter to the notice of my countrymen. For suppose anyone could tell us more about the childhood and early life and appearance of Christ, for instance, how glad should we be to know it. Now it is impossible to find out much, but in the case of the Bab it is possible, so let us earn the thanks of posterity, and provide against that day now." This is an attempt to bring such an account of the life of the Bab to the attention of the world. This same story has been set down in everlasting language for the scholar in The Dawnbreakers, written by Nabil Izam, and in God Passes By Shoghi Effendi Rabbani, the guardian of the Baha'i faith. Release the Sun does not present all of the drama of this epic, nor does it give word for word the exciting stories told during those memorable days. It merely offers a simplified version of a story too long neglected and overlooked by man in his search for peace of mind and satisfaction of soul. William Sears, South Africa, September 1957.